Hey now.
Hey.
Welcome to Summon Greater Podcast.
Oh, yeah.
It's a show about homebrew and sometimes official source materials.
Yeah. When it's really cool.
Or partnered source materials.
When it deserves it.
We are excited today to talk about the Book of Many Things.
Hell yeah, brother. The Deck of Many Things has been my favorite item in Magic the Gathering. Oh my gosh.
You're so magic brain today.
I've been nerding out all day long.
We came in here just a minute ago to set up for recording, and this whole table was absolutely covered in Skyler's magic cards.
Yeah. That was about 10% of my collection.
Were you deck building?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll get into that later. For right now, the Deck of Many Things is my favorite item in Dungeons and Dragons. Mm-hmm. Even though it's a deck of cards, it's not a deck of magic cards.
Facts.
Which is, I think, where my brain screwed that up. I have absolutely loved this item, and I slapped it into a birthday one-shot for my wife, which quickly turned into a birthday series.
Yeah, a little bit of a mini campaign.
Mm-hmm. And one of my characters, in like the second to last or last episode, the player was like, we're almost done here. I mean, am I ever going to get the chance to pull from the Deck of Many Things again? Who knows? I'm going to pull like 7 cards. And they did. And it was chaos and hilarious.
Yeah.
They did not die, but their alignment radically changed, which was really funny.
Yeah, I got to be there for that.
Oh, that's right. You were in that one.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
That was some real fucked up shit. It was super fun. But Wizards of the Coast has seen fit to give us a source book all about the Deck of Many Things. Oh boy.
Yeah.
This is so cool, man. Like, it goes into the story of like why the deck was made, how the deck came into be, and like what happened as a result of that. And it's so good. Mm-hmm. It's so good. But in addition to talking about the Deck of Many Things, it's got a lot of other really cool stuff in it too. It's got new magic items. It's got a couple new character backgrounds. I think it's got a new feat and some like spells and stuff.
There is a new feat and 3 new spells.
3 new spells. Mm-hmm. Really, really freaking cool. I'll let you start with the stuff that you were looking at because it's technically sooner in the book.
Okay. This feat is Cartomancer.
Cartomancer?
Cartomancers use cards as focus for arcane power. You have learned to channel your magic through a deck of cards. You can use the card deck as your spellcasting focus and gain the following benefits. You learn the Prestidigitation cantrip and can use it to create illusions that duplicate the effects of stage magic. When you use Prestidigitation this way, you can conceal the verbal and somatic components of the spell as ordinary conversation and card handling.
That's so cool.
Yep, you're just a card trickster. It's nice. When you finish a long rest, you can choose one spell from your class's spell list and imbue that spell into a card. The chosen spell must have a casting time of 1 action, and it must be a level for which you have spell slots. The card remains imbued with the spell for 8 hours.
Dude.
That's fun, like on its own. I like this feat a lot. While the card is imbued with the spell, you can choose a bonus action to flourish the card and cast the spell within. The card then immediately loses its magic. Here are the spells that are attached to this Cartomancer feat. We have Antagonize. It's a 3rd level enchantment, casting time of 1 action, range of 30 feet. You whisper magical word. You whisper magical words that antagonize one creature of your choice within range. The target must make a wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, the target takes 4d4 psychic damage and must immediately use its reaction to make a melee attack against another creature of your choice that you can see.
Whoa.
If the target can't make this attack, for example, there's no one within reach, or because its reaction is unavailable, the target instead has disadvantage on its next attack roll it makes before the start of your next turn. On a successful save, the target takes half as much damage only.
There's a lot to unpack in this because you just said if its reaction is not available.
Yeah.
Which means it takes its reaction.
Yes.
You could use this spell exclusively for the purpose of getting someone else in your party out of melee with them.
Correct.
Because they wouldn't be able to take attacks of opportunity after that.
Yeah, I think that's right.
That's so cool.
And the fact that that effect remains on a successful save.
Sorry, I also just thought of another thing.
Yeah.
If you hit a spellcaster, they lose counterspell for that turn.
Oh, God. Oh, that's so interesting.
Yeah.
Huh.
No reaction-based abilities after you just take someone's reaction.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially if it's a spellcaster. Like, what are they going to do with a melee attack? Are they going to, like, unarmed strike somebody? Are they going to bitch slap someone for 0 damage?
Yeah. Oh, what a hell of a way to fuck with spellcasters.
That's so cool.
Yeah, this is a very anti-caster spell.
That's so fun.
I enjoy this. When you cast a spell using a spell slot at 4th level or higher, the damage increases by 1d4 for each slot above 3rd. But again, the damage is not the point.
Yeah.
I can't imagine I would ever upcast it.
Oh, that's for the spell.
Yeah.
Okay, I see. I thought you were just talking about casting spells with the deck.
Oh,
I got real confused.
That would be funny.
I was like, oh yeah, you just get extra like 4d4 damage just because you cast a high level spell.
Here you go. Spirit of Death is our next spell. It's a 4th level necromancy. You call forth a spirit that embodies death. This is a concentration of 1 hour, by the way. Up to 1 hour.
An hour, that's a long time.
You call forth a spirit that embodies death. The spirit manifests in an occupied space you can see within range and uses the Reaper Spirit stat block. The spirit disappears when it's reduced to 0 hit points or when the spell ends. It's an ally to you and your companions. In combat, the spirit shares your initiative count and takes its turn immediately after yours. It obeys your verbal commands, and if you don't issue the spirit any commands, it takes a dodge action and uses its movement to avoid danger. When you cast a spell using a spell slot at 5th level or higher, use the higher level wherever the spell's level appears in the Reaper Spirit stat block. Okay. We have a stat block here for the Reaper Spirit. It is armor class 11 plus the level of the spell.
Ooh.
Yeah. So that's there's a lot of points where upcasting will come into play here.
Okay, this is so nice. I'm sorry to interrupt you again. Most of the time when we get a summon spell, it's based on your proficiency bonus. Mm-hmm. And so it doesn't matter at all if you upcast it, which I've always thought sucked.
Yeah.
This is so nice. This
Yes.
is a great change.
The idea of the summon being dependent on the strength of the spell itself is nice to me. And I'm sure it's been done. I can't think of where I have seen it before, if anywhere. But, we've got some ridiculous stats going on here. Just 16 across the board.
Yeah.
In every stat.
Yeah.
Because, sure, man. Yeah, why not get a +3 on everything?
That's pretty freaking good.
The Reaper Spirit's immune to necrotic and poison damage, and immune to charmed, exhaustion, frightened, paralyzed, and poisoned. It's got dark vision of 60 feet and passive perception of 13. And understands the languages you speak, of course. Incorporeal movement. The spirit can move through other creatures and objects as if they were difficult terrain. If it ends its turn inside an object, it's shunted to the nearest unoccupied space and takes 1d10 force damage.
I was going to say, that's about to be a lot of damage.
For every 5 feet shunted. For our actions, we got a multi-attack. The spirit makes a number of reaping scythe attacks equal to half the level of the spell rounded down.
Reaping scythe attacks. That sounds badass already.
Yeah. Reaping scythe. It's a melee weapon. Of course, your spell attack modifier to hit with advantage, reach 5 feet. The creature haunted by... This is confusing to read. Hold on. The creature haunted by haunt creature. Okay, which we'll get into.
Oh, okay.
You have to use the bonus action that we're about to talk about, and then Reaping Scythe will hit that creature.
This just gets advantage to hit on everything.
1d8 plus 3 plus the spell's level necrotic damage.
Damn.
Again, a lot of outcast effects here. Okay, so here's that bonus action, Haunt Creature. Are you looking at this stat block?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
You know what I just realized?
What?
The multi-attack addendum. Spirit makes a number of Reaping Scythe attacks equal to half the level of the spell rounded down.
Yes.
8th level spell, that's 4 attacks.
Yeah. Totally.
Holy God.
Haunt Creature. The spirit targets a creature it can see within 10 feet of itself and begins haunting it. While the target is haunted, you and the spirit sense the direction and the distance to the target if it is on the same plane of existence as you. We'll come back to that in a minute because that's crazy by itself.
Yeah, this is insane.
Additionally, if the target starts its turn within 10 feet of the spirit, the target must succeed on a wisdom saving throw against your spell save DC or have the frightened condition until the start of the target's next turn. The target remains haunted until it dies, the spirit disappears, or the spirit uses this action again. Okay. So just you're scrying, basically. You immediately know somebody's position if they're on the same plane as you.
Didn't it also say? Oh no, I must be thinking of something else. I thought it said it would also tell you what direction they were moving if they were moving. I must be thinking of something else.
I mean, while the target's haunted, you and the spirit sense the direction and distance to the target if it's on the same plane as you. So like you know where it is,
right?
And you know its movement if it's haunted.
God, that's insane.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very good.
This is giving Princess and the Frog Facilier. This is giving Dr. Facilier vibes.
I've not seen it.
You haven't seen that one?
No.
Oh shit, guys. Sam hasn't seen Princess and the Frog. Okay, we'll fix that sometime.
About to be like, oh shit, guys, trash Sam in the comments, please. Like, this motherfucker needs to know he's out of line.
Beat his ass.
Who does he think he is?
No. We'll fix that. We'll watch it sometime. It's one of my favorite Disney movies.
Blow him into smithereens. Make him look like a million little stars.
Tell him he's a bad person. But anyway, it's like giving voodoo like witch doctor.
Okay. Yes. I think so.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of other things that it can be giving, but that's just the first thing that popped into my head.
It's like a curse.
It's a curse.
You're a curse.
It's crazy as shit, man.
Yeah, no, that is an insanely strong summon.
Yeah.
Especially for a 4th level spell.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's crazy as a 4th level spell.
Yeah, because it already gets 2 attacks per action as a 4th level spell.
Mm-hmm. It's like this is what you want to do if you think your opponent's gonna run and you want them gone.
Yeah. I think a really, really cool way to flavor this, if you talk to your DM, I think it might be a little broken and it could be easy to manipulate, but it popped into my head because of another Naruto thing. The people who have seen this far in Naruto, you'll understand what I'm talking about when I say talking about Reaper Spirit. It would be so cool if the spirit that you summon were completely invisible except for to you and the person you're haunting. Mm-hmm. Like, I just think that would be so fucking sick.
That would be neat. Yeah.
Obviously, like I said, having an invisible creature on the battlefield, kind of a little broken. So
it is a little crazy.
Just check with your DM, but
yeah. Yeah, definitely. Let's talk about our last spell here, Spray of Cards.
Oh, God, there's another one.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. This one I don't care for nearly as much, personally. It's a second-level conjuration. You spray a 15-foot cone of spectral cards. Each creature in that area must make a dex save. On a failed save, the creature takes 2d10 force damage and has the blinded condition until the end of its next turn. On a successful one, the creature takes half as much damage only.
Okay. I mean, I can understand. It's nowhere near as flashy. But it is guaranteed damage.
And guaranteed blindness.
Well, I think they worded that really weird. I think the blindness only comes on a failed save.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
But it's not explicitly stated that way, but the way that it's attached to the sentences. But I mean, if you are like exclusively a caster, there are so many items that buff your spell save DC super high. It would not be hard to make this a pretty consistent hit.
That's true. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, I think especially if you were to make a caster and take this feat, I would want to be pretentious about it and do things that do drive my save DC very, very high, you know?
Yeah. Does this remind you of a character that we've played? It's been a hot minute.
In a campaign?
Uh-huh.
Who? Who played it? You did.
It's been a hot minute.
Really?
Uh-huh. Mike's campaign.
Oh shit.
Desmond.
Yeah. Yeah, kinda.
So I had a character. I found a homebrew warlock subclass. Yeah, kind of. It was a homebrew pact is what it was. So with warlock, you select your subclass and then you select your pact. I was a pact of the deck warlock, which is literally like this. And so his whole thing was throwing cards and dealing damage, having like a random effect on the cards. And as he leveled up, he could manipulate the top of the deck so that he could get the effect that he wanted. I'm gonna have to rebuild him.
Yeah. Yeah, what kind of caster would you make him? Would you stay warlock?
See, for as cool as that is, I don't think I would anymore.
Yeah.
I think I would go... It's hard. It's actually a really hard choice.
Yeah.
I'd be tempted to go sorcerer, but I actually think wizard might be more applicable for him. Because there's a lot of backstory that you guys never actually found out about him because he fucking died.
Yeah.
But basically, he grew up on the street as like an urchin and got into the street magic thing explicitly as a way of making money. So I might do a rogue wizard multi-class with him.
Interesting. Okay. I like that. Yeah, that's fun. I like rogue with this too.
Yeah. Stay tuned. I might bring that up in a later episode with an actual build for the guy.
That would be fun if you do that, yeah. I'm all over that.
Man.
What are you looking at the moment?
What am I looking at the moment? I'm looking at character backgrounds. We got 2 new character backgrounds in this book. And I have got to say, I am in love with the direction they have taken character backgrounds in the last few source books. Most of the newly introduced character backgrounds now come with a feat or your choice between a few feats. So for this one, there are two different backgrounds. There's rewarded and ruined,
Okay.
which when you think about it in the context of the deck of many things,
That's appropriate.
it's very specific. Yeah. Rewarded says you were living a difficult life before your destiny suddenly changed through a miraculous turn of good fortune. Perhaps a benevolent deity gave you precisely what you most desired. You might have stumbled across a deck of many things and drawn a card with a potent, positive effect. Or maybe you inherited a modest fortune from a distant relative you didn't know you had. Regardless, you left the daily miseries of your old life behind in favor of a life of adventure and excitement. Your old debts have been paid, responsibilities you thought inescapable are behind you, or you suddenly possess rare and unusual skills unknown to ordinary folk. So you gain these skill proficiencies of insight and persuasion,
Okay.
which is a really fun combo. You learn one language of your choice, and you get a tool proficiency of one gaming set of your choice, such as playing cards or 3-dragon ante. As far as equipment, you get a bottle of black ink, an ink pen, 5 sheets of paper, a gaming set matching your chosen proficiency, a signet ring, a set of fine clothes, and a pouch containing 18 gold pieces. Now for the background feature, Fortune's Favor. Your unexpected good fortune is reflected by a minor boon. You gain either the Lucky, Magic Initiate, or Skilled feat, your choice of the 3. Your choice of feat reflects the transformation that changed your life. An encounter with a genie who gave you 3 wishes might have resulted in magic powers represented by Magic Initiate. If you paid off all your family's debts with a fortuitous round of 3-dragon ante, you might be lucky instead. Alternatively, you could use the Skilled feat to reflect whatever trial you endured to secure your new destiny and to model the knowledge and abilities imparted to you by whatever force transformed your life. Super, super cool. I know I just kind of went on a ramble there, but I just love the way that they set up that whole background.
Totally.
So
Yeah.
freaking fun. And it's really cool. I love that you get your choice of a feat right off the bat. Feats are without a doubt my favorite part of D&D. It's like we were talking about before when we did the tier list for the classes. And we were talking about fighter and barbarian. They're not made by their subclass. A fighter or barbarian is made by the feats that you give them that make them who they are. I think this is so cool.
Do we need to do a feat tier list?
Oh yeah, that'll be a longer episode though. We'll do an extended episode for that one.
I think we need to study up a little bit before that. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. But then the other background that came out is ruined. Exact opposite.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do the whole spiel for this one, but it starts off by saying everything was going so well.
Nice.
I'm like, yeah, this checks out.
Probably wondering how I ended up here.
Exactly. That is exactly the vibe. But yeah, maybe you got, maybe you were like a wealthy landowner and a dragon came through and burned all your land to a crisp or something like that happened. Anyways, skill proficiency, you get stealth and survival, which I'm like thematically so good.
Yeah.
Chef's kiss. You learn one language of your choice. Tool proficiencies, one gaming set of your choice again. Equipment, a cracked hourglass, a set of rusty manacles, a half-empty bottle of something, I don't know. A hunting trap, a gaming set matching your proficiency, a set of traveler's clothes, and a pouch containing 13 gold pieces. Your feature, background feature, is called Still Standing. You have weathered ruinous misfortune and you possess hidden reserves others don't expect. You gain either the alert, skilled, or tough feat. Your choice. Those are really, really good feats.
Very good.
Like, Lucky and Magic Initiate. Lucky's probably the best one of the 3 for rewarded background because it was lucky, magic initiate, and skilled.
Mm-hmm.
This one is alert, tough, and skilled. Alert and tough are some of the most impactful feats that you can take. It's so exciting to see backgrounds that are now giving us more content.
Yeah.
Because, like, let's be honest with ourselves. When have you ever used your background feature?
No, and I don't know anyone who does.
Right? I don't know anyone who knows what their background feature is. Like, I just bumped all our microphones.
It's all good.
We're good. Like, so many people, I do this all the time too. I pick my background kind of for flavor, but also mostly for what proficiencies am I going to get for this?
Right.
And then I like kind of find a way to work it into my character. Or sometimes I pick a background that gives me the proficiencies that I want, and I completely ignore what the actual background is. Because it like never really comes into play. So I love the idea that they are giving us feats at level 1 that will drive you into the story of your character.
Yeah. That's good.
Makes me very happy. But beyond the backgrounds, we've got quite a few magic items.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
Looking at some at the moment.
Ooh!
Would you like to hear about them?
Sure
Let me
would.
tell you about the deck of oracles.
Ooh, okay, cool. You're looking at the ones that I was hoping you would.
Okay.
Good. The ones right below that I'm very excited for.
Nice. Nice. The illustrations on this deck of oracle cards move or change subtly when viewed indirectly. When you finish a long rest, you can spend 10 minutes consulting the cards for an omen of the coming day. Roll a d20 and record the number rolled. Once in the next 8 hours, immediately after a creature within 60 feet of you makes an ability check, an attack roll, or a saving throw, you can use your reaction to discard the d20 roll. The creature must use the number you rolled in place of its roll. If it sounds a little familiar, it should. It sounds a little bit like Portent.
That is exactly what I was just thinking. That is really cool to kind of have that on any character.
Yeah. Additionally, while holding the cards, you can cast divination from them.
Ooh!
Once this property is used, it can't be used again until the next dawn. That's just a good item.
Divination's a great spell.
Divination's a great spell, and this pseudo portent is fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah, my gosh. Like I literally I don't have anything to say about this because it's just such a good item.
What I would I like the practice that we've adopted in our group of just picking like an item or two from the jump, or like what Bailey's been doing. She gave us this criteria for this one shot that we just did. She said pick magic items, either one purple or what was it, a blue and two greens?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So it was either a rare and two uncommons or one very rare.
Yeah.
Yeah, one
Yes.
very rare.
I like that a lot because I think there's a lot that you can do with magic items to flavor your character a bit. Which is what I prefer to do rather than min-maxing anyway. And this, the reason I think of that is because this item has a lot of character to it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I was going to say specifically referring to when you said you prefer using magic items rather than min-maxing. I agree.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I say that as a min-maxer, but I agree because the magic items are part of it.
Yeah.
It's a big part of how, when I come up with my most insane bullshit, usually it's because I'm using magic items to get there.
Yeah.
It's a heavy part of it. And that's why I think that we talked about it before, again, the magic item system in Baldur's Gate is probably something I'm going to wind up implementing in a campaign at some point because attunement slots just piss me off. They really do. Like, I understand them, and there might still be some stuff. There might be some things that I will say will keep the attunement property, but I think a lot of stuff you can just drop it.
Yeah.
You can just say, here you go. You can just use it.
We've talked about this a little bit before, but yeah, I think the way Baldur's Gate does that is perfect. I've been thinking while you were talking, this would be a funny thing, in my opinion, for like Velvet to have Sophia's character.
Oh,
just
yeah.
as like you know, she just has like a fun little tarot deck that she just does as an innocuous pastime, maybe without understanding that it's having an effect
or fully believing in.
yeah, exactly.
That would be really cool. That'd be super fun.
Let's talk about the fake cutter shears.
Let's please talk about these. I saw these once before when I was briefly flipping through this, getting excited about it.
Yep. The blades of these pruning shears bear many nicks and dents, but still cut cleanly. The shears function as a magic dagger. The weapon has the following properties. Ever sharp. When you hit with an attack using the shears, the target takes an extra 1d6 force damage. Sever threads. When you hit a creature with the shears, you can cut that creature's fate. Okay, sure. Until the target finishes a long rest, attack rolls against it score a critical hit on a roll of 19 or 20 on the d20. God, that's fun. Once this property is used, it can't be used again until the next dawn. I have said this on the podcast before in a very early episode. I love things that affect crit chance and crit damage.
Yeah.
This is what I wanted.
I know. It's so cool.
Like, and it's very cool that this is on a magic item, and it's very, very cool that this is technically a support effect for the rest of your party.
Also, the synergies are just so good. It's a dagger.
Uh-huh.
This is a rogue weapon. Rogues critting on a 19 or 20.
Yikes.
That's double the chance for a crit sneak attack.
That's pretty good, dude.
It's so good. God, that makes me so happy. But yeah, like we were talking about the reworking the ranger class, and we were talking briefly about the Ochette abilities from Octopath Traveler 2, and how they essentially just increase your likelihood to get a critical hit in that game when you're using Ochette, when she uses these specific abilities. And talking about how that would be a great ranger rework, is to be kind of a crit support.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah. Oh, I like this so much. Also, this just the way that this is worded, especially in terms of cutting the creature's fate, it's giving Kill la Kill for me, if you have seen that show.
Oh, I saw like 2 episodes and I thought it was interesting, but I never went back to it.
I mean, I know why you got turned off, but it is really worth it, to be totally honest.
Yeah.
It's in my top 5. I think.
That's pretty impressive.
It's probably at 5 if it's in my top 5, but it's a very, very good show. The Fate Dealer's Deck. The backs of these cards are inscribed with glyphs representing the inner planes, the outer planes, or the holy symbols of various deities. While holding this deck, you can use it as a spellcasting focus, and you gain a bonus to... there it is. Bonus to spell attack rolls and to your spell save DC. The bonus is determined by the deck's rarity. Okay, that's how that works. Makes sense to me. Okay, it's a +1 at rare, 2 at very rare, and 3 at legendary.
Gotcha.
In addition, while you're holding the deck, you can draw a card as an action to expend and roll one of your hit dice and add the deck's bonus to the number rolled. One creature you can see within 30 feet of you either takes radiant damage or regains hit points, your choice, equal to the total.
Whoa. There's no attack roll. There's no saving throw.
No, sir.
That just happens.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that is an action, though. Okay, it's not a bonus action. Oh, that's so good.
We've got another really good support item here.
Yeah. The one thing that I find really interesting about this item requires attunement specifically by either a cleric or a paladin.
Yes.
So it's not something that one of your other classes can use. But that is really good.
Yeah.
Specifically, oh my gosh, if you get a legendary one of these, buffing spell attack rolls and save DCs is such a powerful effect.
Yeah.
It is made doubly so for clerics and paladins. That is insane shit.
Yeah. Also, like, really good flavoring in the mechanics of the item itself, being the Fate Dealer's deck, and, you know, you're obviously going to use this at, like, the beginning of battle. Tasteful. Good. I like it.
Yep.
The House of Cards is an uncommon item. This deck of cards is decorated with geometric shapes that have a protective motif. While you're holding the deck, you can use an action to shuffle it and cause the cards to deal themselves out and transform into a shelter made of cards.
What?
Do you see the image for this?
Hold on. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's wild looking.
That's so cool.
I like that. This shelter can be shaped however you desire, but it must fit within a 40-foot cube centered on a point within 30 feet of you. The shelter has one door and up to 4 windows, and only you can open or close them. It has a floor and a roof, and it maintains a comfortable temperature inside. The shelter has AC 15, 50 hit points, and immunity to poison and psychic damage. The shelter lasts for 24 hours until you dismiss it as an action or until it is reduced to 0 hit points. When the shelter's duration ends, it transforms back into a deck of cards and appears in your hand. Once the deck is transformed into a shelter, it can't be used again until the next dawn.
That's really cool.
It is really cool. Appropriate as an uncommon item. It's like it. Oh, what is shit?
Tiny Hut?
No, not Tiny Hut. The. Oh, I'm thinking of an item actually. I'm thinking of the Portable Fortress.
Yes. Yeah.
This feels like a very scaled down version of that. Characterized way differently, and I like that a whole lot.
Yeah. Stuff like this is really, really fun. I wondered if they might do something else like the Portable Fortress.
Yeah.
But I also wondered how they would.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't sure how they would do something that would creatively make sense. But
Yeah.
this is really, really good. Like you said, makes perfect sense that it's an uncommon item. I love it. It's got a decently low armor class, not that many hit points. It's not like Tiny Hut. It's not going to protect you from everything. But it's just a really good shelter. Like if you're in the fucking snowy ass mountains.
That's exactly what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah. The temperature control is
Exactly.
something that my mind latched onto.
Exactly.
There's a lot of there's a lot of travel utility here.
Yeah. Very, very nice. I love that a lot. One of my favorite things in this book actually comes immediately following those magic items.
Go for it.
Supernatural gifts. So these are really cool. They're charms. They are temporary effects. Well, temporary items, I guess. You call them. Temporary magic items. They only have 3 uses each for most of them. Some of them only have like 1 use or 2.
Okay.
But there's just tons of these different charms that have really, really cool effects. And it's not, I haven't figured out if the book gives you like a here's when to give these out or anything. But I think these are really, really cool things that you can maybe get from they put it next to an image of like a fortune teller. If you have a magical fortune teller, I think it makes perfect sense for them to be able to give out a temporary use charm.
Totally.
I think it's really cool. So I'm not going to hit all of these, but I'm going to hit a few of them just so you get the idea. Charm of Balance. When a creature you can see within 60 feet of you damages you, you can use your reaction to deal an amount of force damage to that creature equal to half the damage you took. Once used 3 times, this charm vanishes. Pretty cool. Charm of Uriel. As an action, you can unleash a petrifying wave of magic from your eyes in a 30-foot cone. Each creature in that area must make a DC 15 Constitution saving throw. On a failed save, a creature has the petrified condition for 1 hour. On a successful save, a creature is partially turned to stone and has the restrained condition. A restrained creature can repeat the save at the end of each of its turns, ending the effect on itself on a success. Once you use this charm one time, it vanishes. Charm of Many Things. You are infused with a burst of magic from a deck of many things. As an action, you can touch a willing creature other than yourself and bestow the effect of a single randomly determined card from the deck upon the target. Once you use this charm one time, it vanishes from you.
Dude.
That's insane. Scary, exciting, and really fucking cool.
That's...
Like, these obviously aren't things to just like throw at your at your players and like let them have often, but it's a really, really cool thing to have all of these on a table and roll for what somebody gets.
This would be a fun one to give an enemy, I think.
Oh yeah. But yeah, there are like 20 of these things. I'm pretty sure there are a number of charms equal to the number of cards in the deck of many things. Yeah, super, super cool. Like I said, I'm not going to get into all of them, but they go in some crazy directions. If you guys get the chance to get your hands on this book, I will say that loosely, however that looks for you, I would recommend doing so. This is such a cool source
There's a
book.
lot of stuff worth reading in here.
Yeah. But yeah, beyond the charms, there are a couple more magic items. There are a lot more magic items in the next chapter here, chapter 9. But there are a couple ones that I really want to draw attention to because they made me really happy. One of them is the boomerang shield.
1 second,
Which
let
is
me find the image
just
here.
so good. There is actually not an
There's
image
not
for the
one
boomerang
here.
shield. I like to imagine it's shaped like a boomerang. I don't think it is, but I like to imagine.
It's it's got me thinking of the shield in Hades.
Oh yeah, dude. That's such a good visual. Yeah. Anyway, boomerang shield. It is an uncommon magic item, requires attunement. You can make a ranged weapon attack with this magic shield. It has a normal attack range of 20 feet and a long range of 60 feet. And it uses your strength or dexterity for the attack roll, your choice. If you're proficient with shields, you are proficient with attacks made using this shield. On a hit, it deals 1d6 slashing damage. If you throw the shield, it reappears in your hand the instant after it hits or misses a target. Super, super fun.
Mm-hmm.
Captain America.
Yeah.
You just get to Captain America
Totally.
some shit. So fucking cool. Another one, going up the rarity level here, a very rare Bow of Melodies.
I like the way this looks.
This one does have an image. Really, really cool thing about this particular magic weapon, the Bow of Melodies can be any bow type. So that includes short bow, long bow. I don't think there are any other types. I think it's just short bow, long bow. But yeah, so you can have a Bow of Melodies short bow or a Bow of Melodies long bow, depending on what you're proficient with. This bow has multiple strings and resembles a lyre or small harp. By strumming the strings while setting an arrow to the bow, you imbue the arrow with magic. You can play one of the following melodies when you use the bow to make a ranged weapon attack. You must choose to do so before you make the attack roll, and you can only play one melody per attack. Melody of Precision. If you are proficient in performance, gain a +1 bonus to the attack roll. If you have expertise in performance, gain a +2 instead. Melody of Reverberation. The melody you strum echoes loudly. On a hit, the target takes extra thunder damage equal to your charisma modifier. Not game breaking at all, but oh my god, is this fun.
That's a very unique mechanic.
Yeah.
an ability proficiency to modify your weapon attack is nutty.
It is so cool.
Ooh, I just like how that is. That makes me happy.
The creativity that they're showing in recent source books makes me really excited.
Yeah.
Because like we're getting a lot of, like you said, interactions between skills and things that we haven't had before.
Yeah.
And that's fun. Because it's rewriting how you can play D&D and how you can use magic and how you can build your character and things. As a DM, this is so much fun for me because I'm getting more ideas of how I can take existing items or something and I can make my own magic stuff. And I can do it in ways I had never thought of before.
Yeah. Yeah, this is so good, man. Tell me about reverberation.
Reverberation? What's reverberation?
Melody of reverberation.
Oh, yeah. I did mention this, but the melody you strum echoes loudly. On a hit, the target takes extra thunder damage equal to their charisma modifier.
Okay. You did mention that?
Yeah.
Oh, my bad.
But no, you're good. You're good. Also, just really cool. Just really cool. I mean, especially if you're playing, like, say you're playing like a rogue or bard and you've gone for a charisma rogue, because a lot of people do that. It's super fun. Super fun. Just like, that's an extra 4 or 5 damage per shot. Maybe you're running like a charisma fighter or something.
Yeah, okay.
Imagine a charisma fighter, like scale this up. We're at level 20 charisma based fighter, 4 attacks per action. If you have, let's be generous even and say you have 18 charisma, not 20. That's a +4. That's 16 extra damage per action with all 4 of your attacks. It adds up. It's really cool.
Yeah.
Super fun item. Another one that I thought was just really cool, Force Breaker weapon. This can be any weapon that deals bludgeoning damage. It's a very rare item. Does not require attunement. You gain a +2 bonus to attack and damage rolls made with this magic weapon. This weapon was crafted to destroy structures made of force, such as those created by Force Cage or Wall of Force.
Oh.
Striking a large or smaller structure of magical force with this weapon automatically shatters that structure. If the target is a huge or larger structure of force, the weapon shatters a 20-foot cube portion of it.
Wow.
That's awesome. Sure, it's not going to be like a super overpowered. It's not going to like take your character to the next level. But that right there is the perfect example of why the Baldur's Gate magic item system works so well. Excuse me. Because you have these magic items that are situational. But they make your party really happy to hoard and hold on to.
Yeah.
Like it's something that you can say, oh my gosh, we have that Force Breaker Warhammer. There's a wall of force.
Yeah.
Like this, we didn't need it for most of the campaign, but right here, right now, we can do a super cool thing. And that's something that like you as a DM can give to your players a really satisfying moment.
Yeah.
If they held on to this Force Breaker weapon, they've got a way through that wall of force. The flavor options with these items is last one I really want to talk about, and then we can probably end the episode. The Hammer of Runic Focus. I'm just going to read it first. I got to read it first, or I'm just going to start going. This magic hammer has 3 charges. It's a war hammer. It is very rare and requires attunement. This magic hammer has 3 charges. As a bonus action, you can expend 1 charge and slam this hammer on the ground, creating a 15-foot radius circle of glowing runes centered on the point of impact. While you are inside that area, your hammer glows with matching runes and you gain a +3 bonus to attack and damage rolls made with the hammer. The rune circle disappears after 1 minute when you create another rune circle or when you dismiss the rune circle as a bonus action. Hammer regains 1d3 expended charges daily at dawn.
Damn.
Rune Knight. Rune Knight Fighter. Mm-hmm. Like, thematically, yes. But, oh, it makes me so happy.
Yeah.
And it activates as a bonus action, which means you can still use your full action to attack.
Uh-huh.
This is sick. And again, flavor.
Yes.
I am not going to be moved from this 15-foot circle that I have just placed in the ground. You come to me, and I demolish you.
Yeah.
Like, this is... I could build an entire character around this one weapon.
It's one of my favorite things. Again,
Which
positional advantage.
we should... Honestly, sorry, another tangent here.
Yeah.
We should do that sometime.
What?
Pick a weapon, pick a magic item and build a character around it.
Yes. You're totally right. We should do that.
That would be so fun.
Uh-huh. Yeah, this would absolutely be a fun one to design something around.
Yeah.
Hold person. First of all, there are synergies to be had here, I think.
Oh, you know what? You know what else I just thought of?
What?
Okay, this is a little convoluted and it takes a little while to achieve. Do you know the spell Magic Circle?
No, tell me about it.
Okay, let me pull it up just to make sure I get everything right. You create a 10-foot radius, 20-foot tall cylinder of magical energy centered on a point on the ground that you can see within range. Basically, choose one or more of the following types of creatures: celestials, elementals, fae, fiends, or undead. The circle affects a creature of the chosen type in the following ways. They cannot willingly enter the circle by non-magical means. If the creature tries to use teleportation or interplanar travel to do so, they have to make a charisma save. The creature has disadvantage on attack rolls against targets within the cylinder. Targets within the cylinder can't be charmed, frightened, or possessed by the creature. When you cast this spell, you can elect to cause its magic to operate in the reverse direction, preventing a creature of the specified type from leaving the cylinder. You see where I'm going with this? So,
here with me.
yes, exactly. So it takes a little bit of setting up because Magic Circle has a casting time of 1 minute. But banishment. If you banish a specific creature and then you immediately have someone else start casting Magic Circle on the area that they were banished from, and you send your barbarian in there with the runic hammer, and then they finish casting Magic Circle, you drop banishment, and right before you do, barbarian activates the runic hammer. It is literally a cage fight.
That's so hype.
Right?
That's so hype. You are like... oh, you're a walking encounter gimmick.
Yes! It's so cool.
Yeah, I like everything about that. Oh, what a terrifying build that is.
Oh yeah. Super, super fun. But yeah, there are several more super, super cool magic items. There's a lot more stuff to look at in this.
We've got time for at least two more here.
Couple more?
Exactly,
Okay.
2 more.
Okay. Then I think the next one I'd like to talk about is the Sword of the Plains.
Sorry.
Are you looking at the turtle shell?
No, that's awesome too, but I'm actually looking at the Sling of Giant Felling.
It's David
What
and Goliath!
the fuck? When you hit a giant creature with a ranged attack roll using this magic sling, the creature must succeed on a DC 18 con save or have the prone condition. That's all. That's just...
It is so funny.
Someone was laughing while I made that, and like it was just. I can imagine how that meeting went for this item. Okay, go ahead.
You're good. Yeah, Sword of the Plains. Legendary sword, requires attunement. It can be any sword. It can be a short sword. It can be a long sword. +3 bonus to attack and damage rolls made with the Sword of the Plains.
It's pretty.
This sword can tear the fabric of reality, creating a temporary rift between planes. You can use your action to choose a different plane of existence from the one that you're on and slice through an unoccupied space within 5 feet of yourself, creating a rift to that other plane.
That's busted.
The rift can be up to 10 feet high and 10 feet wide, and it lasts for 1 minute. Once this property is used, it can't be used again until the next dawn. You can specify a target destination, such as the city of Brass on the elemental plane of fire, or the palace of Dispater, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, on the second layer of the 9 hells. And the rift opens in or near that destination at the DM's discretion. If you are trying to reach the city of Brass, for example, the rift might appear on the Street of Steel before the Gate of Ashes. I love these names. Or facing the city from across the Sea of Fire at the DM's discretion. Again. Anything that enters the rift is instantly transported to the other plane, appearing in the unoccupied space nearest the rift. What a cool item. Also, notably, because I saw it mentioned somewhere else in the book, that whole thing where it lasts for 1 minute, you cannot turn it off before then. It will last for 1 minute. Theoretically, you can use this to escape a fight, but the enemies might come through after you. Or if you can hold them off for long enough, you can use it to send an enemy to another plane of existence. You open that rift and you kick their asses through it.
I was thinking exactly of a Sparta kicking scenario.
But on a much more utility based, you don't have to use a spell slot to plane shift. You just get a free plane shift once a day.
And you can be exact about it.
Yeah. And it lasts for a minute, so you're going to get your whole party through. This is really cool.
It's a very powerful item.
Yeah. Definitely why it is legendary. One last one, not because it's super insane, but because I think it is well overdue. For all my people out there who did not think that monks were powerful enough already, Wraps of Unarmed Prowess.
Oh shit.
Yep, okay. Here they are. While you are wearing these cloth wraps, your unarmed strikes are considered magical. For the purpose of overcoming immunity and resistance to non-magical attacks and damage, and you gain a bonus to the attack and damage rolls determined by your wrap's rarity. There is an uncommon, which gives you +1, rare, which gives you +2, and very rare, which gives you +3. Notably, these do not require attunement. These are the same as a +1, +2, or +3 weapon for the monk.
Yeah.
It's long overdue.
Very good.
I'm very, very happy.
More wraps, please.
More wraps. Yeah. Baldur's Gate has a ton of gloves that do really, really cool things.
Yeah.
I would love to have more of that in D&D. More gloves, please.
Yeah.
More gloves, please.
We need to spend more time looking at Baldur's Gate items.
I
think we could.
For real.
I think we could never get through everything.
Dude, that one episode where I talked about items, the one you saw how many I put on that freaking Google Doc before I decided I'm only going to talk about 5 of these.
Yeah, there's a lot to look at.
That was like maybe 10% of what's in the game.
Really?
Maybe.
Shit. Oh, good.
It is utter insanity.
That's awesome. That makes me happy.
Yeah, very much so. And we've got a few more friends actually that are picking up the game, so we'll hopefully be able to start like an actual like shared online campaign soon.
That would be very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would like that.
Super exciting.
Oh my god, dude. Magic items are really cool.
Magic items are phenomenal.
This honestly, we could have the whole podcast be focused on them if we really wanted, but I don't want that.
But what I do want is for you guys to send us your magic item ideas. Do you guys have any homebrew magic items? Do you have an idea of a magic item that you want us to make? Just send it all, please.
Where can they do that?
They can do that at summongreaterpod homebrewatorpod@gmail or sommongreater on Twitter.
There you go.
I did it. I
You got it.
remembered. I get them mixed up so often, you guys. You don't understand.
I do
Sam does
too.
this every episode
My
because he
wrinkly
can.
little brain.
sommongreaterpod@gmail.com or sommongreater on Twitter. As always, check out the social medias. We are on Spotify, so if you are catching these on YouTube and thinking, man, I wish I could just listen to this while I was doing something, find us on Spotify, the podcast on Spotify.
Or wherever you get your podcasts.
That's true. We are everywhere.
I looked at our metrics recently. It is mostly Spotify as expected, but about I think 10% of our listeners listen from Apple Podcasts.
That's cool.
Yeah. Thank you so much for listening. We're going to be back with more of this next week.
Catch you on the flip side.
Bye now.
Bye.